Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jennifer here, and today I'm reviewing Dunkirk, the last movie for now in my Christopher Nolan series. I can't believe we've come this far, and hopefully Tenet comes out soon near where I live so that I can get that review for you guys. But for now, I'm going to be reviewing Dunkirk. Dunkirk tells the story of when Germany advanced into France, trapping the Allied troops on the beaches of Dunkirk in May of 1940. If there is one word that I can use to describe this movie, it would be realistic. This is probably one of the most realistic war movies I've seen in all my life. It very well is more about the atmosphere and setting up the event rather than the characters, which is something that would usually bother me. I'm honestly a huge fan of characterization, and I think giving your characters depth is something that makes the story that much better. Here, Christopher Nolan didn't really develop the characters. They were, I wouldn't say flat, but we didn't know much about them other than they were just here in the war, stuck at Dunkirk. But I think that was enough for this movie, just because when you're in war, I don't think people get to know who's right next to them. I don't think it's like a, friendly type situation. This movie was more about setting up everything around them, like something as simple as the camera zooming in to the birds, leaving or flying in, or a dog fight, things like that, like really setting up what these characters are around, I thought was really cool. And like I was saying, made the movie more realistic because they're not even speaking a lot of the times in this movie. They're more so just listening to the sounds coming from the left, right, and I thought that as an audience member, you also got to feel that, and it made you feel like you were in the war and you were going along this journey with them, which I thought was really interesting and I actually really liked. Also, the action sequences in this movie were awesome. It is a war movie, so you need great action, and I think this one definitely delivered. And with the whole sound mixing, there's a lot of scenes that are silent, and then there's a bunch of explosions, and it really makes you tense and have anxiety, which is, I think, what they were aiming for, again, with the whole atmosphere, feeling like you're actually at Dunkirk, and I thought that they were just magnificent. Although that was really good, and I think it is something that like a lot of movies don't do, I found myself getting kind of bored watching this movie, and this is the only Christopher Nolan movie that I've gotten bored, and this is my second time watching this movie. I watched it once I saw that it was nominated for a bunch of Academy Awards. I was like, hey, I want to, check this out. I'm not a fan of war movies. I usually avoid that genre just because I don't like them, and it's just not my preference. But when I first saw this, I didn't really like it, and on my second viewing, I like it, but I still am bored watching it, and I think big reason because of that is just because I don't like the genre. It's not my favorite genre, and a way that I describe this movie is that I can praise it and I can talk about its visuals and the strong acting, which I will, but I never want to rewatch it again. I don't have like a tendency to want to go back to it. Again, that's something just personal with me. I think this movie is very good, but I think it's a little bit of a slow burn, and I think that was done intentionally, and I do like it technically, but as like an audience member and watching this for entertainment, I wasn't really that entertained with this movie. The visuals of this movie were stunning. Like I said, you really felt like you were in there, and the visuals also went hand in hand with the strong acting. Every person that acted in this movie acted really well. A lot of the times they weren't even delivering lines. It was more with their faces and their gestures, and I think sometimes that's even more difficult than acting with lines because you really have to, portray emotions without words, and everybody did an awesome job. I really felt for them, and although I didn't get to understand them personally and know every little detail about them, I still felt bad for them, and I still wanted them to succeed. And every single time there was an explosion or there was this or there was that, I was wondering, oh, what happened to these characters? And I thought that was really awesome. I also really like the narrative of this story and how it's told, and I like the different, storylines happening, because there's the people on the ship, there's the airplanes, and then there's the main Dunkirk stuff, even though it's all with having to do with Dunkirk. Obviously, I liked getting to switch between different characters, and I always wanted to find out what was happening next. Although I was saying I felt a little bit bored watching this, honestly, I never really wanted to turn it off though. Like, there's movies where I get bored and I don't want to finish them, but this one I always wanted to finish it to find out what was happening. Not my camera literally dying halfway through this review. I love that for me.
12 seconds later.
My camera literally died as I was filming and I was talking, and then I would go to check and it was off. Just the fact that I finished this movie says something from somebody that like doesn't really like watching these type of movies. This movie is something special, and it's something that I don't see a lot of directors doing, where they focus more on the atmosphere rather than the characters, and they told a story through this amazing atmosphere. And yeah, the characters are mentioned here and there. I mean, obviously the story is told through characters, like all movies. The musical score was beautiful for this movie as well. It is just a very like visually stunning movie, but one that I unfortunately really don't want to see again. I'm gonna give this movie a B. Like I said, this movie, really the only issue I have with it is that I don't want to rewatch it, and that I think it's kind of boring sometimes. But other than that, I can appreciate the movie, and of course Christopher Nolan, I mean, he's always great. I think this one might be my least favorite Nolan movie because I don't want to rewatch it, because all of his movies I think are very rewatchable except this one, in my opinion. A lot of people love this movie, so I still think you guys should watch it if you haven't seen it. Don't just, you know, take what I have to say, because I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion because I didn't hate the movie, but I know people love it a lot more than I do. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and you guys can now binge every single one of the Christopher Nolan reviews up on my channel. I have a playlist and I will put it up somewhere, wherever it goes. I always get it confused. And also linked down below, and hopefully Tenet comes out soon here because I'm dying to watch it so I can review that for you guys. And make sure to subscribe because a lot of more videos to come. I post Mondays and Fridays. And yeah, let me know what you guys thought about Dunkirk. If you loved it, if you didn't like it, I would love to hear it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!